Simba, the lion who became king of the Pride Lands. But what if I told you Simba had a brother, one who never made it into the movies? Meet Malka, Simba's forgotten brother. His story is full of mystery and heartache, and his fate, it could have changed everything. Malka, introduced in a 2004 comic titled Simba's New Brother, is a young lion with a golden coat and a dark tuft of fur on his head, resembling Simba. But unlike Simba, Malka's story never continued in the films. In the comic, he's a cub who lost his pride and wandered near Pride Rock. When he met Simba, he wasn't just a stranger. He was family. Simba and Malka spent time together, and Simba began to see him as a potential family member. Malka's bravery impressed Simba and his father Mufasa, but even though Malka was accepted into the Pride, things weren't as simple as they seemed. Simba, still a young cub, wasn't thrilled about having a new brother. Malka had lost his pride, and Simba felt conflicted about how to fit him into the family. Simba had always been the only heir, and the idea of sharing his place with Malka was a tough pill to swallow. Mufasa invited Malka to stay, seeing his bravery in defending against hyenas. But Simba, driven by jealousy and insecurity, felt threatened. He didn't want to share his position as the future king. Malka's presence made Simba feel that his role in the Pride was now uncertain, and his feelings of rivalry started to grow. Simba, unable to manage his jealousy, decided to test Malka. He took him to the gorge, suggesting a game of hide and seek. Malka was to start counting while Simba ran off, thinking that Malka would never find his way back. But what was meant to be a game turned into a pure nightmare for Malka. Lost and terrified in the gorge, Malka called out for Simba, desperate for help. Simba ignored his cries at first, thinking Malka could find his way back. But when Simba realized the seriousness of the situation, he returned to find Malka trembling in fear. It was then that Malka opened up to Simba, admitting that while he appeared brave, he'd always been scared of being alone. He'd lost his pride and feared losing Simba too. This was a turning point for Simba, who now understood Malka's vulnerability. The two returned to Pride Rock, and Simba's heart lightened. Despite Simba's attempt to make amends, Malka slowly faded into the background. After their brief reunion, Malka was never seen again in the Pride Lands. His disappearance left many questions unanswered. Where did he go? Why wasn't he seen in the movies or any other media? Malka's disappearance has sparked a lot of theories. One is that Malka simply got lost and couldn't find his way back. Lions are territorial animals, and Malka, without a pride to protect him, might have wandered into dangerous territory. Unable to find his way, he could have been lost forever. His remark, "Everyone thinks I'm clever and brave, but I always get lost," hints at his struggle with direction and purpose. Now, another theory suggests that Malka might have been exiled by Simba's pride. Simba, even though he warmed up to Malka, may have struggled with the idea of sharing his royal position. His jealousy could have led Simba to quietly send Malka away, unable to fully embrace him as part of the family. A more hopeful theory is that Malka left on his own terms. Simba, though he had accepted him, didn't provide the support Malka needed. Like Simba, Malka might have needed to find his own path away from the Pride Lands and away from Simba's shadow. He may have actually left to discover who he truly was rather than remain in the role Simba had placed him in. Malka's disappearance left an emotional void in Simba's growth. Had he stayed, he could have been the brother Simba needed, offering support and challenging him in ways that Simba never had. Instead of viewing Malka as a threat, Simba could have shared the weight of leadership, growing emotionally stronger. But without him, Simba's reign was marked by loneliness and a whole lot of insecurity. Simba's leadership was shaped by his fear of losing his place as heir. Without Malka by his side, he lacked the emotional balance that a sibling could have provided. His journey as king, though strong, lacked a lot of depth and connection, leaving him with an emotional gap. But Malka's absence didn't just leave Simba lonely, and left him untested. Without a brother to challenge his decisions or share the burden of leadership, Simba's growth felt incomplete. Each victory, each choice, came with the silent echo of what could have been. Simba's journey was solitary, missing the shared experience that could have made him stronger. Malka's potential shaped Simba's path without ever walking beside him, a reminder that family is a whole lot more than blood. It's understanding and support. Now, if Malka had stayed in the Pride Lands, things could have been very different. He could have challenged Simba's sense of jealousy, forcing him to confront his insecurities. Instead of feeling threatened, Simba could have learned to share the leadership role, working alongside Malka to create a stronger pride. Having Malka around could have provided Simba with the emotional support that he lacked. The two could have worked together to help one another grow, balancing each other's strengths and weaknesses. Malka could have played a key role in Simba's emotional development, helping him understand what it truly meant to be king, not just through the power of authority, but through empathy, unity, and understanding. So, what happened to Malka? Could he have returned one day to the Pride Lands, grown and changed, to offer Simba the support he never had as a cub? While the comic leaves Malka's fate open-ended, we can imagine a few possibilities. Let's say, after leaving the Pride Lands, Malka could have traveled to find his own path, learning the ways of a true lion. He could have returned as a wise and strong adult, ready to help Simba in ways that his younger self just couldn't. Or maybe one day Malka returns to the Pride Lands, not as Simba's rival, but as a loyal ally. He could have become a protector in his own right, helping Simba in ways that would bring balance and unity to the Pride. Ultimately, Malka's story could serve as a reminder of what could have been. His absence, both from the Pride Lands and from Simba's emotional growth, left a hole in Simba's journey that could never truly be filled. Malka's story remains a tragic reminder of what happens when family bonds are tested by jealousy and by insecurity. Simba's journey as king could have been different if he'd embraced Malka fully. Their story shows that rivalry, when unchecked, can prevent all of us from building stronger connections to people we need in our lives. Malka's absence might be one of the Pride Land's most overlooked mysteries, but the emotional impact of his disappearance, that echoes inside of Simba's leadership. In the end, Malka's story might have been forgotten, but the lessons about family, rivalry, and growth can still resonate with all of us today. It's a reminder that the greatest strength often doesn't lie in power, but in our ability to all grow together. Until next time, Hakuna Matata.